Okay. My table has been ruined by all these little pet projects, so I have a drape over it. But I got the KEKS M-meter upgrade kit, cost $10. And the idea is that I should be able to get better battery life out of the meter if I install this kit. And I'm hoping that's the case because although the meter does do its job, it does drain battery fairly quickly, and it would be nice not to have to worry about that as much. All right, let me make sure my stream hasn't been killed. Cool. You know what? I probably need to just use scissors for this. Oh, no. Get off. Oh, I should also mention that KEKS went ahead and refunded the $10 for the kit. I'm wondering if that's because they had some backlash for making it a paid kit. I'm not sure. Either way, that was nice of them. All right, so I have a few screws, Allen keys, screwdriver, and this box. What's in the box? Hang on. Okay. And inside the box, we've got new board. Okay. And let me do my little screw trick. Just a second. I need something, a sticky surface. I'll be right back. Hopefully my audio is a lot better too. I upgraded my audio. So I got some complaints about that. Okay, yeah, this is nice and sticky. So I am tired of losing screws, and I've found that setting any loose screws on some tape helps, because if it drops, you have a nice big surface with all your screws attached. So we've got 4 screws, 1 Phillips head screwdriver, 1 Allen key, and a board. And in fact, I did send them an email. This is not sponsored. In fact, they don't even know that I am doing this. I think, let's see, just a minute here. I'll look at their description of it real quick. So they officially call this the PCB upgrade kit. This is the PCB. And I'm looking at some documentation here. All right, so I might read out. Uh, oh, they didn't actually put a description on their site, but they did send me something via email. Okay, yeah. Essentially, drastically increases the battery life. They didn't elaborate much more than that. So I will check their latest email about the refund real quick to see if there was a note there. M-meter V2 upgrade kits. I swear there was something more technical, but it doesn't appear. Yeah, in their details, they just mention the installation video. So what I'm doing right now is I have the installation video itself over to my left, and I'm going to follow along with it, but I will talk while I'm doing it because I think there are people like me who would appreciate that. The installation video that they have has text over it, but it doesn't have any audio. All right, so first we got to unscrew all 4 screws at the bottom of the meter here. And hopefully the provided hex key does work because I do not think I have one this size. Seems like it does. All right, so I'm just referencing the video real quick. It's only a 3-minute video, so this should be fairly quick. All right, so they're not taking this off. So these 4 screws are just replacement screws in case. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take these off. Oh, let me check if you can see. It's always tricky to do this because. Oh, hey. That's a throwback. How have you been? All right. Ooh, this one, for some reason, it feels like it's not properly seating. Okay, now it's coming out. To put the old screws on the tape. I promise you that is so useful. It works. Nothing worse than losing tiny screws. Yeah, I'm doing great. I think I recall seeing at least an upload or 2 from you in the last month or so. Am I wrong about that? Okay, so we got the 4 screws out, and in the video, they flip this over and sort of pull. But I'm gonna double check that because I don't wanna do anything incorrect, show you the wrong thing. So, oh, okay. So in the video, what they do is they flip this over and push the screen until this comes off. Okay. And when you do that, the button comes out. Both buttons come out. And actually all three buttons come out. Okay. So I will go ahead and stick our buttons on the tape too. And aside from that, everything else is in one contained unit. I probably should have turned this off. So I should be able to just push this and turn it off. What I pushed is this button right here. Let me see if you can see what I'm seeing. Yep, you can. All right, so what I pushed is that button right there, just to turn the unit off. Okay, next step is we are unscrewing this screw and this screw. And I'm just watching the video over here. The reason we're unscrewing these two screws is to take out the old PCB. And the video emphasizes to do this gently. This screwdriver is not magnetized, just a FYI. And this screw is slightly smaller than the 4 for the body cavity. Okay. I'm back to you looking at the video. All right, so this piece, how exactly did you do that? Let me go back to this. Okay, so it's hard to tell. Oh, nope. Okay, so we're just gently pushing up and we're releasing the PCB unit from on top of 4 little let me actually, there's these pieces, 4 poles that this is sitting on. There we go. So you pull it off the 4 poles. Well, it looks like it's actually 2 poles. These 2 here, you just pull up so that it releases from those 2. And then that allows you to pull the PCB up in the same manner. And then you need to flip this upwards, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it pulling this out? Yep. Pull this black piece right here up. And then pull that out like so. All right. Okay, and then we're going to remove the LCD screen from the PCB. By pulling up here. Here we go. So LCD screen is off. Okay, and we also have to take this battery. Hopefully you can see all this. This battery has to come off of the old PCB. And it looks like they just pulled up on it. Let me double check that. Seems a lot easier in the video. Yeah. Okay. There is a bit of a jolt in the last video. So it does seem like there was some adhesive. I just really don't want to damage the battery wire at all. And then we pull this out. Now, I don't remember if this is latched or not. I assume not. Kind of looks like they just tug it out. Okay, they do. So, that's really in there. Okay. Last thing I want to do is have to resolder anything. 1 second. Yeah, they're really just tugging at this. So, all right. Thankfully, I didn't break it. You really have to tug it tight, or you have to tug it hard to get it out. Okay, so naturally the next step is take the old PCB, toss it over there, and reattach everything. So to install the new PCB, there's an important note about halfway through the video that says you have to install the display first. So before we install the battery, we install the display. And you can use this piece, the orange piece, for the orientation of everything. This is the new PCB. And this black piece goes in here. So if you recall, we flip this up. And stick this in here. And then, let's see. Then it just routes back to putting the battery on. So Although I'm wondering, have I done this in the right way? Hang on one second. Yes, so I do believe I have done it the right way, because if you look at the video, the numbers here should be facing up when you attach the display to the PCB. And so let's add the battery. Let's see, which way should it go? You're very welcome. I just saw your message there in the chat. Give me 1 second. I gotta go back to this video. Mm, okay, it doesn't make it totally obvious, at least from this angle, which way the battery goes in. It looks like the red side is on the right from the top. So using this piece as the orientation for the PCB, red on the left, and this part might be a little tricky. Okay, it just clicks into place like that. And then this wraps around this groove here. And the battery sits like so here. And it looks like in their video, the battery just sticks. And in mine, it's going to be the same. Okay, so the adhesive is still pretty sticky. So the battery is sticking. Just going to move this behind this. Okay. And next step is they're checking the display to see if it turns on. And the display automatically turned on. I didn't actually press the button. That's interesting. But okay. So the display turned on. Now we need to reattach this whole shebang. This is interesting. Hang on 1 second, because I think they may have skipped a step. Okay, so we need to reattach this piece with the battery facing down. So this part is facing down in here, but there is no ribbon connecting this to this. It's still on the old PCB. And so if you flip this black piece up, this one right here, you can take this off. And I'm guessing you would want it to be the same. So the longer piece was connected to the black piece on the PCB, which is here. And then the blue tip was facing up. So that's what I'm going to do here. Oh, this up. Okay. That looks about right, but it doesn't look perfectly set in there. All right, there we go. Boom. Blue piece in. And so the battery, let's see, goes down in here. And I'm connecting the PCB to these two black poles here. So point those out here and here. And then I want to flip this up. And push this in. Okay, actually, so it's easier to do this before you put it in the black poles, I think. Yeah, probably is. Just, it's going to be hard to show this and do this at the same time. I'm pushing this blue piece in, like so, and then connecting it. So you see how it's connected now? Right there. Then I'm connecting the green PCB to the black poles. The display turned off, and I think that's just because of the timer on the display. So I'm now pushing the PCB down a bit so it really sits on those black poles. And I'm pushing a little bit of gentle pressure on top of everything. And I believe my next step is to just screw down the new PCB. Okay, I need to test this because they still have theirs on. All right. Oh, you know what? I guess this does. Okay. So one of the things I'd emailed them about was the fact that the new meter has an arrow that is supposed to indicate either underexposure or overexposure. I haven't looked at the chat in a while, by the way. I apologize. I have the video up. But this arrow does appear now. So I guess the new PCB does that as well. Okay. So let me go back a minute or two in the video and I will look at the chat, see if I missed a question. Nope, I didn't. Okay. So let me go back. Yeah, because previous to this, it didn't give you the arrow. All right, and so what they do is they check the exposure wheel. And my wheel does move the number, so that's good. Of course, I don't know if it's going to line up with my camera, but we'll see. So far, so good. Just letting the video scrub for a minute so I can get back to where I was. All right, so yeah, after you check the exposure wheel and you do see the indication that it moves the display numbers, you can go ahead and reinstall the screws. I am going to use well, you know what? Now that I look at this, they included 4 screws, but maybe you can't tell from this far away. Let me see what you see in my screen. But they included 4 screws, 2 of which are the PCB screws. And, well, let's see. Are they the PCB screws? So there are 4 body screws that I took out. There are 2 PCB screws that I took out. They included 2 body screws and 2 PCB screws. So keep that in mind. You don't actually have everything. And I'm going to guess that these PCB screws are the same. So I will still use the old PCB screws. And I'll keep the extra as spares. So just using my fingers to toss them in to the right spots. It's hard to see because I need to give you an unobstructed view. So got this. And I'm making these as tight as I can without stripping the screw or potentially breaking the connection point, because that would suck. Just going gently tight. There we go. All right. Oh, wow. Now that I look at it, I totally blocked the view. I apologize. Well, I guess that happens. But as you can see, it's connected now. And I think the buttons might be the tricky part. Let's see how they approach the buttons. I just want to know the order that they used. All right, so they have the housing upside down, facing towards them, the power button facing towards them. And I don't think the buttons differ. I suppose I'll see if they do. If they differ slightly in size for the top and the bottom. I doubt it. Didn't feel that way. So they install these first. And see, this power button goes in like so. Oh, hope I didn't scratch my display. All right, power button goes in like that, and hang on 1 second. Why is this confusing me? All right, yeah, KEKS M-meter should be up and to the right, and they just slide this in. They make, uh-oh. Probably shouldn't have done that. Hang on 1 second. All right, so my buttons came off. They made the sliding in look a lot easier. It's not hard though. It's just you gotta be careful. Okay. press in like so. And let me see, my buttons are up. Okay. All right, there's a slight click. Yep, and the buttons stay in place. So you do have to press a bit hard, not too hard, to get the housing to click over the guts. And then we take our screws here. Unfortunately, I wasn't extremely scientific about checking the battery beforehand. I just knew I was not satisfied with the battery life I was getting out of the unit. So if this is noticeably better, then I will go ahead and share that information. But as you can see, we seem to have done this successfully. I'll go ahead and take a meter reading of my wall and then compare it against well, I can't do the comparison against my phone. I'll do the comparison against my Sekonic meter as the last step, just to see if it's accurate. And you know what? I probably should check if my camera, if the shutter, if the shutter values on the KEKS meter match my camera shutter values, or if there's something off now. So those will be my last two checks. Let me see if I missed anything in the chat. Nope. Hey, thank you. And thanks for all your videos as well. So good luck with your new direction. Okay. I'm just trying to tighten these without going overboard, because I don't want my housing slipping off in the middle of a street photography session. Okay. Very good. Moment of truth. Turn the meter on. I'm going to go to ISO 6, which is the bottom. ISO, I think 3200 is the highest you can go. 3200, yep. Go back to 50. Right now I'm shooting some Tri-X pan that expired in the 1960s. I'm shooting it at ISO 50. That's getting me decent results. And I will meter the wall. It is telling me I need to, oh yeah, it would say that. Oh. Hang on 1 second. Is that about right? Okay, so the arrow is pointing to the direction I need to turn the wheel. Since the wall needs more exposure than that, more exposure than 1/30th of a second, I shoot a f2 lens, so it would need 1/4 of a second. Let's get my Sekonic meter out and check that. Where are you? So let's see. ISO 50, 1/4 of a second. I'm in multi-mode, f-stop mode. All right, it's giving me f2. here, and so it probably will give me 2.2 at the wall. 2 and 1. Yeah, close enough. Fairly close. So this has been a success so far. Here, let me say that we are at ISO 3200. And I'm going to meter the wall once again. We're at 3.2. One second, 36. I could probably do that math in my head, but I don't feel like it. I'm lazy right now. And at 1 second, saying 32 against this white backdrop. And against the metered point, 32 and 1. Okay. So within a stop. Just like before. All right, so the moment of truth will be checking this wheel. Give me 1 second. I will do that for you because I'm curious myself. We didn't touch the wheel, so it shouldn't have done anything to it. I just need to grab a couple items real quick, and that'll be our last step. I need to find my gaff tape, but I cannot. Where is my gaffer's tape? All right, I'll use this tape instead. So just a minute. Bear with me 1 minute. We're almost done. Go ahead and just do this makeshift real quick. Okay, and I'll actually do this. Oh, you know what? That's probably not a good idea. I won't do that. I will do this instead. I'll put this on top. Twice. So, if you're not aware, people tend to hide serial numbers because people with bad intentions might use serial numbers to do things that they shouldn't be doing. So I'm covering mine real quick. And we're going to go ahead and attach the meter. So if you haven't used the KEKS M-meter before, all you have to do is first align these two gold points. So the gold point on the wheel and the gold B here. Push up, turn so it stays up. Put your camera in bulb mode. And you see this groove here. This is going to fit into that groove. Slide it on, turn, it falls down, grabs the groove. So right now we're in bulb mode. That's right. Next, we're at 1 second, half a second, quarter, eighth, 15th, 30th, 50th, 60th, 125th, 250th, 500th, 1000th. Okay, 150th being the flash sync speed. And we're good. So great. Overall, how long did this take us? With me talking through every step, I didn't start until about here. So with me talking through every step and referencing the video multiple times and looking at a few steps that confused me a bit just talking through them. It took me 40 minutes. If I hadn't been doing this on video, I doubt it would have taken me more than 20 minutes. And if you mess around with this process, or if you mess around with electronics all the time, I doubt it would take you more than 10 minutes to do this. So in the video, the person who was showing the instructions took 3 minutes. So this is a very easy thing to do. I don't have any wood to knock on, so wish me luck the first time I go out in the street. But if you want to increase your battery life, then I would consider going with the now free meter upgrade kit because you can do it yourself at home easily. Bye.